All right, rebels. Wow, we've got a lot to unpack.
And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities.
The true nature of the Donald. He made some impactful statements and some, well, what some believe are almost impossible. I mean, I admit we need to cancel a lot of what has been going on for the last 4 years. But even to me, this one seems to overreach. Just a little. And what I mean is, well, let's just take a look at what this act even is all about, if you don't know. So this act was established in 1798 during a time when the tensions were really high with France. This was before the War of 1812. Now, this was a way for the government and military to distinguish friend or foe. So basically, if the war was to break out with France, they could legally detain anyone that was not a legal citizen. But this is where Trump could get into some hot water if he was to use it. You see, this act hasn't been used since World War II. And there was some backlash even then. I mean, it's literally only been used 3 times during the War of 1812, for which it was created for, also was used in World War I and again right after the attack on Pearl Harbor. You see, during the start of World War II, the government did just as they did during the War of 1812, except instead of British spies, they profiled every person who looked Japanese, even if they were true American citizens or not. This was criticized for its racial bias. The government's decision to target Japanese Americans, while largely sparing German and Italian Americans, was seen as an act of racial discrimination. As we saw in a government review in 1980, they found that there was no evidence of military necessity for the removal decision and concluded that the incarceration was a grave injustice fueled by racism and war hysteria. The history of the effects of this act in World War II. This could create a negative public perception. With racial profiling already a thing in today's law enforcement, and whether true or not, the image has been created by the media propaganda and the headlines created by social media. And on the political side, it could cause more of a divide between party lines, with some viewing as an overreach of executive power, which, as we know, could lead to the media fueling protests and public outcry. If Trump were to enact this policy, it would almost certainly face judicial review, with courts likely to examine the constitutionality of using the act in this context. So as we close, invoking the Alien Enemies Act to target gangs and criminals would likely be met with significant public resistance due to its historical parallels, along with concerns over civil liberties and potential racial profiling. Congress would be compelled to act, either through legal challenges, legislative measures, or oversight, to address the implications. The political and legal landscape would be fraught with tension, reflecting the complex interplay between national security, immigration policy, and civil rights. All right, rebels, that's the scoop for now. Remember, we're in for one wild ride, and I'm here to keep you informed, entertained, and maybe even a little riled up. So, keep your eyes peeled, and let's see what other surprises are in store for us. Till the next one, we're signing off with a big ol' you betcha. Almost forgot. Hit that subscribe, share this, and ding the bell so you know when new conversations come online.